Hey guys, Greg Bowles, CEO of Bowles & Associates here with another Team Intelligence update with some hints and tips to help unify your team. This week we're going to be looking at three common problems that I want you guys to avoid in your coaching to help speed up your results. And the particular problems that I want you to avoid, or what we're going to be covering today, are when there's little to no rapport present, you will basically equal little to no results. The second problem that I wanted to talk about is the confusion between mentoring and coaching. And the third problem is what I wanted to do was to focus away from you and focus back onto your staff member, or what we call our client. So let's get started. The first problem, as I mentioned, was when there's no rapport, there's no results. What I mean by that is, if you guys don't actually know, rapport is a feeling of connectedness with someone. It's a level of trust. It's where they feel like they've known you and they can share anything with you. That's the level of rapport that you need with a client before you start any session for it to have any effect on it at all. They also need to want to be coached. If they don't want to be coached, no coach in the world is actually able to help them. Reminds me actually of a story of one of the organizations I used to work for, and my desk was actually next to one of the manager's offices, and he was going through what we called a staff development session, sort of a coaching session, whatever you want to call it. And I noticed that the body language of the staff member or team member that was being sort of interviewed or helped, or the manager was sort of trying to develop them to that next level. The body language was closed off. They had their arms crossed. They were looking around. There was no eye contact. Very short, sharp answers. And essentially what it boiled down to at the end of it was almost this ultimatum of do it or else. You've got to improve this here or else. And it was literally just using pain to motivate this particular team member. Now, having said that, it obviously didn't go overly well, and there's using these things that we're talking about today. You can avoid actually running into that same situation yourself. So just wrapping up that one, guys. As I said, no rapport equals no results, and no change is actually going to happen unless you have that rapport. So trust that was of value. The second problem that I wanted to talk to you about was the difference between mentoring and coaching. Now, this is for people who aren't in the coaching industry, might be a little bit hazy, a little bit grey, a little bit confusing as to the difference between them. I want to give you guys some clarity on that. So the difference mainly between mentoring and coaching. Mentoring is more of a step-by-step, this is how it's done, I've got experience in this particular process, and I'm going to tell you how to achieve the steps 1 through 10. Now, the difference with coaching is that coaching from a transformational process of what we're doing actually to develop staff and develop teams is that we're more of a guide. We don't have all the answers. We're not supposed to have all the answers. That's not what the point of a coach is. The coach is there, as I said, to ask the questions, the informative questions, the intriguing questions that actually gets the client to think in their own mind what the actual answers are. And the reason why I say that, guys, and why it's important to know that, and it's not about actually having all of the questions and having all of the answers, is that it's about the person in front of you. And this is what we're going to cover in point 3. But back to point 2, is that our job is to guide our client. Our job is to help them to understand where they need to improve, where their limits are, and what we do is we assist them past that point so they get to the next level. And we do that by using powerful questioning techniques, as I said. There's other methods that we can use. I use a combination of neuro-linguistic programming. I use eDisc personality profiling, what we call behavioral profiling. And there's other techniques, other questioning types that I use to help my clients get the results that they need. So that's a quick wrap of the second problem. So as I said, it's the difference between mentoring and coaching. Now, the issues with the mentoring comes out, and the frustration for managers and leaders comes out, is to when the people aren't doing the steps, that they're told to do because the person that's actually helping them has done it before. Now that's where the coaching has to come in to actually help them. So, okay, why are they stumbling here? What's the actual mental roadblock that they've got that they need assistance with? So banging their head against the wall is not going to achieve anything. It's not going to achieve anything for you either. So we need to put on our coach's hat, not the mentor's hat, and that's how we help them and to actually move forward. Now, the third problem that I wanted to share with you guys that you need to avoid when coaching is that it's not about you, it's about the person in front of you. Now, what I mean by that is that generally when people start coaching, or leaders and managers that aren't that experienced in and trained in the techniques of coaching and how to actually develop their staff, and I don't blame them because there's very, very little quality training actually in the industry to help them with that, and that's essentially what I want to help you guys with, is that because businesses are generally run very, very much based on structure and process, they feel that there needs to be a process for what they're doing with the staff development. I need to tick off this piece of paper to give to HR to show that I've ticked all the boxes. It's not how coaching works. Coaching is a pure focus on the client in front of you, and it's a pure focus and guide through their world, their map of the world. Now, each of us as human beings have our own map of how the world is put together. So you could have two people at the same event and they'll actually give you two different accounts as to what happened, what was fun, what was exciting, what was upsetting, whatever, based upon their own map of the world. Now, as I said, their own map of the world, it's made up of various things, and that could be, or I should say that are, rather, their values, their beliefs, and their cultural influences and all of the things surrounding them. Now, what we need to do as coaches is we need to enter their world by gaining rapport with them and asking them questions to help them understand how they've actually built that particular belief of, I can't do this job, that project is too hard, whatever it is, because there's an underlying belief and a value set which has caused that belief to be formed, which is then causing the issue that you're actually seeing. And that's where the importance is. So guys, the focus needs to be on the client, not on you. It's not about you having all the right questions. It's about you actually being present for them and having the listening skills and ability to connect with them, get that rapport, and to enter their world and to understand where they're coming from, so you can help them to understand what roadblock that they actually need to move past, and that you're there to help them and support them. Trust that's been of value, guys. Really enjoyed this week's update, and enjoy sharing these with you. Actually, up on the up on YouTube, up on the website, we have different forms of this for you guys that love watching the videos. Thank you. We've also got the PDF versions and also the audio versions if you're wanting to download them, listen to them in the car or on your iPod. So thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. If you would like more information about how the team intelligence system can help diagnose problems in your team and help to unify your team, get in touch. Be happy to have a chat with you. And no matter where you are in the world, we can assist you. So thanks again. Until next week. Cheers.